Well, hello, everybody. Welcome into Braylon Lee's virtual tour live on a Sunday night. Glad to have all of you here. Y'all, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of nervous on this one. This is my first interview on YouTube. You know, I've been saying I've been wanting to do more interviews in the new year, and I did not look at this all day long. Um, but I saw like 5 likes for this. So for those 5 people, thank y'all so much for the load of confidence in me. Let me take down this iconic intro because higher is weighing, low is available. But either way, we are live on tour. You see the virtual tour background, you hear the virtual tour music, and then there is me. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Glad to have you here. So, my good friend Mari MonRHO will be on the way here very shortly. How I know Mari MonRHO is I've been telling you about the Onyx collab. We're there on Clubhouse weeknights at 10/9 Central, only on Clubhouse. And so she has a new platform called 360 Conversations that is going to cover Black culture, HBCU culture, and many, many, many more things. And I'm very, very excited. So I said to her, hey, whenever you're ready, I have a platform. It's not a big platform, but it is a platform. And I thought, why not? So I gotta let y'all know I'm a little nervous though. I'm a little nervous, even though you know I've been on tour with you guys so many times. It's different when a person comes on your platform. You know what I mean? Miss Cheryl H. Tough, Braylon, please don't be nervous. We love you. Don't be nervous. Stand on business. You got this, man. Thank y'all so much. 5 people in the building. Oh, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. I feel like this is like the series premiere of the Braylon Talk Show on daytime TV, you know, and it's like Mr. Lee 5 minutes. It's like, oh, this is your job now. This is the thing you've been asking God for. This is the thing that. So let me see if the guest is here or not. Hang on, let me text. Hey, I'm on live now. Ooh, 6 people in the building. Yeah, I'm shaking it. 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 I'm shaking it for sure. Glad to have all of you here. Hang on one second, y'all. Give me one moment, okay? Okay, y'all. So this is what we're going to do. Okay, this is live on tour. So, okay. So we're going to do hot topics for 30 minutes. So she will be here at 9:30. Okay. So just give me some love here. Okay. So, all right. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to do some hot topics. Okay. Is that cool with y'all? She's almost ready. I try to stick to my time, but it's all good. So thank you guys so much for all of that. I really do appreciate it. So I do want to talk about this for a good minute, okay? I do want to talk about this with y'all. So y'all give me a moment here, okay? Give me a moment. Give me a moment here because I do want to talk about this, okay? I do want to talk about this. So it's going to be 30 minutes before she gets here, but there will be an interview tonight, okay? So trust me. Have I ever failed y'all with content? No, I have not. I do want to talk about this, right? With Nicki Minaj. So listen. Okay, so with this, right? I have not listened to Bigfoot. I'm not going to listen to Bigfoot. I think it is beyond disrespectful for Nicki Minaj to bring up someone's dead mother when her dad, Nicki Minaj's dad, got shot in the middle of a street. Because guess what? If Megan did that, then we will be on her head, right? And not to mention too, these two used to be friends at one time, so I don't get why all of a sudden the switch up. And my thing is this with Megan, right? You say that you are the queen of rap, but yet Megan Thee Stallion has 3 Grammys and you have 0, right? So to me, if we look at it from an industry standpoint, Mega's the queen of rap. And if we look at it from the fans' point of view, yes, you have the biggest fan base out of all the queens of rap, but that doesn't really mean anything because it's what have you done for me lately? And what Megan Thee Stallion is doing is she is evolving herself into brand deals. Like, did y'all not see the Plans Fitness one? Like, she's got that. She worked with Frito-Lay to help pay off some student loan debt for seniors at Texas Southern University. She's got a first look deal with Netflix. So while you're releasing Bigfoot, you ain't even getting off your own feet to make your own hustle. You know what I mean? So to me, I just feel like it's completely disrespectful. There was one idiotic girl that said that the family of Megan should sue Megan Thee Stallion. First of all, that was such a reach to me because I truly feel that what Megan did is what she did, right? She said a hit dog will holler. Nicki, you did marry somebody who was a sexual predator. You did. And everybody has said that, guess what? Why are you with him? Everyone has talked about your husband. So keep the same energy for everybody. And I got nothing to gain or lose in this fight, but it's just, are we really getting this downtrodden? And so Nicki has been doing post after post after post after post. And, you know, honestly, like, I know that we love our celebrities, but sometimes we can love them a little too damn much. You know what I mean? For those of you who are wondering, well, wait a minute, where's the interview? My guest is getting ready. She will be here at 9:30. Okay, so trust me, I'll put timestamps in for this one. Okay, so but we're just doing hot topics right now until she gets here. But thank you all for being here. I do appreciate it so much. So, like I said, to me, I just feel like it's really just downtrodden to me that you would do something so ridiculously unnecessary that this is where we are. And not to mention, it does show your character. It really does show your own character. I just don't know. I just don't know. I just really don't know. All right, so that is that topic here. So we're gonna be rolling through hot topics until 9:30. Okay, so we will get there very, very shortly here. This next story here. Wait, can y'all see it? Yeah, y'all can. Okay. So this next story, Florida man accused of fatal shooting after trying to date his own daughter. Hostile situation turns into police shootout. So a Florida man is in custody after being accused of his involvement in a fatal triple shooting. News 6 report that Tampa 42-year-old Michael Banks was the shooting suspect of a local home around 12:43 p.m. on January 17th. The criminal report showed two female victims in the house, left in the house rather after being shot. One of the women was Banks' mother, and the other was Banks' daughter. Okay, so that's the context. Both victims told officers Banks was still in the home when they arrived, and a perimeter was found around the house. Police said Banks shot 2 rounds at an officer, to which the officers returned shots before Banks' surrender was taken into custody. Officers did find another woman inside the home. The woman was the mother's friend, and she was found dead. She suffered a gunshot wound to the head, according to the press release. No officers were injured in the shootout. Investigators said that they discovered Banks wrote a letter to his daughter, told her to date him and no one else. So from what I am getting, Michael Banks was dating the daughter's mother. And so apparently this man wanted her, the daughter, to only date him. Now, to me, that's out the way crazy, disrespectful, and just incest. I mean, honestly, like, let's keep rolling. When his mother found the note, she and her friend discussed forcing him out the house. Banks told detectives he overheard the conversation and felt betrayed and upset. As a result, he picked up a revolver from his room and began shooting at them, attempting to kill them both, or unalive them both. Sorry, unalive them. Detectives explained. Banks also admitted to shooting through the bathroom door, striking his daughter, who was taking a shower when the first shot was in the air. Police said he previously been convicted of a simple battery, aggravated battery of a pregnant woman. He faces charges of firearm possession and first-degree murder, attempted murder of an officer, and 2 counts of an attempted first-degree murder with great bodily harm. He is being held with no bond, as he should be. That to me is, quite frankly, out the way. Just there's no words for it. You're asking your daughter to date you and only you, and that's it? No, that's not the vibe at all. That's not the vibe at all. You know what I mean? So it's just, I truly feel that our society as a whole is going to such a hell in a handbasket with, and by the way, I think these will be some of the conversations that will be happening in 360 Conversations with Mari MonRHO, which she will be here at 9:30. Okay, so we're just doing hot topics until it's 9:30. All right. So glad to have y'all here. So with that being said, I am really, oh my Lord. Okay. Because I already put, you know what, we're just going to keep going. Because I know that, people will come in. They will come in. So with that being said, this story here is a little too much for me. It's just a little too much. So with that being said, here we go with this story. Now, for those of you who may be wondering about Josa Hernandez, y'all remember the police officers, right? And all that happening in Florida. That was just crazy. So remember the Floyd Mayweather fight that Josa Hernandez got into at John Gotti the third and Floyd Mayweather's fight in June of 2023. She has now learned the consequences of her actions. According to TMZ, court documents claim that Hernandez pled not guilty to resisting an officer with violence, battery, and law enforcement other charges after she attacked officers who tried to keep her from fighting from Big Lex. In one of the videos that was recorded from that night, Hernandez is seen hitting multiple people, including police officers. Hernandez was sentenced to 2 years probation and has been ordered to have no contact with Big Lexi and her family. She has to write an apology to the officers that were involved in her arrest. So y'all, here's a fine case. You see, Zeus ain't doing nothing. Child. Just a mess. Hernandez will also be subjected to random drug testing while have to enroll in a 29-week batterers intervention program class online to learn how to de-escalate situations. I mean, when you really think about this, honestly, I just truly feel that at the beginning, middle, end of the day, it is like what's the point with Jocelyn, right? We've seen this on Love and Hip Hop. We've seen this on Jocelyn's Cabaret. We've seen it in real life. Like at some point in time, like this is on you, right? And I think she has a daughter, if I'm not mistaken, right? She exactly probation, and it's just like, when are we gonna hold people accountable? Because I know if that was me, I would have been done for. I would not have gotten any probation. If it was any other young lady out here, they would not have gotten probation. I think sometimes in the system of celebrity, we allow celebrities to get away with their behavior, and that behavior, honestly, quite frankly, is really disrespectful. And we allow bad behavior to get rewarded. I mean, y'all know the Zeus auditions for Baddies Caribbean just happened this past Saturday. The top 20 ladies got $5,000. I know what people are saying, right? Zeus is around. It's a network. It's black owned. Just because it's black owned doesn't mean it's quality. To me, Zeus seems to have the toxicity, a trifling behavior, and a callousness in caring about our culture. I'm not the only one who said it. Trashy Dineva said it to Linnell Palmer during T-GIF on Fox Zone. And Linnell got upset by what Trashy Dineva said. Now, here's my thing, right? You can't get upset over the content that you give, right? You cannot be upset over the content that you give. Because to me, truly, I feel that it's kind of our fault too. We feed into this culture. We do. I mean, Maury, on my pen. Maury, Jerry Springer, Steve Wilkos, like we feed into this. And I feel that we can only do so much by asking the networks for what we want. But in the same token, it's just like, is anyone else tired of it? I mean, we already know about Hotel Holt. I watched the original Straight No Chaser video where allegedly there are allegations in original Straight No Chaser's inbox of grape from Martell. Grape. And he is still being allowed to be associated with the Oprah Winfrey Network. So this behavior, toxicity, triflingness, and disgusting behavior has to end. It's the sycophants that defend the behavior for me. When you know good to damn well, if it was your mama, if it was your sister, if it was your auntie, if it was your niece, if it was your cousin, if it was your daughter, you wouldn't put up with this behavior. Nobody should put up with that behavior. Al Jocelyn. Nobody. Probation. That's what we're doing, probation? Okay. That's what we're doing, probation. By the way, y'all, yes, there is a interview happening tonight at 9:30. So I should have moved it up to 9:30, but we're still going to do the interview because guess what? I did say I'm committed, okay? So it's happening in just about 30 more minutes. This is kind of like the pre-show, okay? So just give me some love, grace, and space. I should have moved it up, but hell, it is what it is. Okay. All right. So let me see what else we got here. Let me see what else we got here. Let me see. So for those of you who may not know this here, okay, so for those of you who may not know, share this. Kansas City Chiefs are set for the Super Bowl after defeating the Baltimore Ravens in AFC Championship game. How about that? The Kansas City Chiefs are going again to the Super Bowl. The NFL dominant team over the past few years, the Baltimore Ravens defeated the Baltimore Ravens at 17-10 in Baltimore Sunday night in the AFC Championship. The Chiefs' opponents, in the February 11th Super Bowl will be determined by the day's end when the NFC Championship between the Detroit Lions and San Francisco 49ers is decided. That game airing on Fox begins at 3:30 p.m. Pacific at the 49ers Levi Stadium in South Korea, California. So I don't know if that game is done yet. I think the Lions are going to the Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so y'all, right now, it is the fourth quarter. Let me show y'all. Right now, it's the fourth quarter. 27, San Francisco 49ers. 24, Detroit Lions. So 8 minutes, 36 seconds left on the clock. Listen, I think it might be the Detroit Lions' first time in a long time. Here's the thing. I am for any team who has not won a Super Bowl to win. Because somebody asked me, like, what team are you rooting for, Brad? I'm like, you know what? Honestly, I don't watch professional football that much. Now, I watch Super Bowl for the commercials, okay? I watch Super Bowl for the commercials and the halftime show. But I want the Detroit Lions to get it. Like, I mean, to bring home a win for your city is such an amazing honor. That goes past any Hall of Fame accolade that you'll get. So, hey, everybody, 5 people, welcome in. Glad to have you here. Yes, there is an interview happening in literally 9 minutes, okay? So I should have moved it up, but hey, we're here now. So we're doing hot topics until 9:30. So glad to have all of you here. And I really am excited. So to give y'all a little context on my friend Mari MonRHO, she's in the Onyx collab with me weeknights, 10/9 Central, only on Clubhouse. And so she has a new platform called 360 Conversations. You guys saw the description box. And very, very excited. I think in the world of Black media, we have been looking for, hey, Nicki News, welcome in, Queen. Glad to have you here. We have been looking for platforms like 360 Conversations, like Braylon's Virtual Tour Live, to be able to go past what the culture is talking about and dig into what needs to be said in the culture. And I feel like we definitely need that more. So many times in life, and I think through our social media feeds, we have a filtered image of what is reality. And sometimes it's just what needs to be said. So it's going to cover pop culture, it's going to cover hot topics, it's going to cover social issues, it's going to cover a little bit of everything, including HBCU culture. Now, I did not get the chance to go to a historically Black college or university. In Little Rock, Arkansas, there is Flint Smith College, and also there's the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, home of my Golden Lions. Would I have wanted to? Absolutely. And the only reason why I didn't go was because I moved up here with my family in Ohio. But the good news is about HBCU family. Even though you may not have ever went to an HBCU, that doesn't mean that you can't go to an HBCU later on in life, or you can't give back to HBCU. You know what I mean? I really do mean that. That's something that I've really been thinking about doing. I wish that, like the Black Information Network on iHeartRadio, I wish there was a way to combine all the Black college radio stations to create the BHBCUN. Wait. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so B for Black, HBCURN. So Black HBCURN, Black HBCU Radio Network from iHeartRadio would be absolutely amazing. And you know what? Honestly, too, I really do feel like HBCU culture is a whole vibe. Like you can't originate anywhere else. It's nothing like walking into a classroom and seeing your professor being you. It's nothing like sitting down with your classmates and seeing them for them. And not to mention, too, there are other students. There are other students. Hang on, let me pull this up. So I just wanted to show this story off here, because I think that, this goes to show this here. Okay, hang on, y'all. I think that's Mari MonRHO. I think that's her. All right, y'all ready? First interview. Y'all, I'm nervous, man. I'm nervous. Like, this is somebody who really means a lot to me. So I'm going not to fail her. I hope she's not upset with me. I should have moved it, but here we are. All right, I'm bringing her to the stage now. Here we go. Hey, Mari MonRHO. Hey.
Hey, how are you doing? I don't know why you're nervous because this is not your first interview. We've interviewed plenty of celebrities
I
in the
know.
Onyx collab. So
I
technically,
know.
this is not your first interview.
I know. How are you? By the way, I'm sorry for not moving it to 9:30. I should have listened. I'm sorry. Because when I
It's
texted you
okay.
that, I'm like, and this is the thing, I try to keep it to that time, but also too, as you know, I improvise. So I'm like, okay, wait a minute, I got it. So glad to have you here. So you ready?
I'm ready. Are you
All
ready?
right. I think
So
so.
so you were doing some hot topics. What did you hot and topic about?
So talked about the Kansas City Chiefs going to the Super Bowl.
The Kingdom. The
Yes.
Kingdom is
So
going
Kansas
back to
City.
the Super Bowl.
Yes, indeed. So we talked about that. The 49ers and the not the Saints, but the Detroit Lions have been decided yet. Right now it is, let me see. It is 27 San Francisco 49ers and Detroit Lions 24. So 7 minutes, 26 seconds left on the clock. So I will give y'all that breaking news as we are live on here. Then we talked about Josa Hernandez. She got probation.
Good,
and
good, good.
and she's got to be subject to random drug testing. But
Good as in not I'm glad she got anything, but I'm glad that she didn't get any time in jail. So that is amazing because she is a mother and she's growing and developing as a person. So you don't want to see anybody, be put in jail, especially when they have small children.
that is true. That's very true. I think where it comes to though, Mary, is when is enough enough? Because and you said this to me that Bray, if you acted a fool, I'm going to support you out here, but behind the scene, you were wrong. So like at some point in time, if I'm not a celebrity and I wouldn't be given any grace, when does it end? That's the real question. I heard that she is a good mother. Okay. All right. So listen, I'm not gonna go against black women because Lord help you go to a hell that you can't come back from with that. And then we talked about Nicki Minaj releasing Bigfoot. I have not listened to it.
Did she
I have not
actually
listened
release
to it.
that? Did she actually release this
I don't
song?
know. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I haven't listened to it, nor am I, because like you said, because like I said,
Because
we
I'm a
talked.
hottie. Yeah, we
Yeah,
talked, and I'm a hottie, and I'm in full support of everything Creole. And as we know, you know what I'm saying, Megan is a proud Creole woman, and also, it's just some things that you don't do. Some things are
yeah,
just tacky, and I've been seeing on the Instagram and other things, and I want to reiterate
yes.
why she didn't have all that smoke for Remy Ma.
A lot of people were saying that in the chat. A lot of people were saying that in the chat. And I was saying, to the virtual travelers, the virtual tour family, legendary tourists here, that if you look at from an industry's point of view, and y'all, we are going to get to the interview, but this is a sneak peek of what we have on 360 Conversations with Mari MonRHO. I was saying to the audience here that if you look at it from an industry standpoint, 3 Grammys versus none, right? And if you look at it from a fan point of view, even though you have a bigger fan base,
You've
the
been out longer.
fact, and you've been
You've
out
been out
longer,
longer.
so exactly, so that does help. But I think this is where Nicki messed up. She used factual information about your husband. She used factual information about her husband. Not to mention, too, like at the beginning, middle, end of the day, everyone has said this about your husband, Nicki. Have the same energy for everybody.
Have the same
That's the
energy
big
for
deal.
everyone. And then also, once you reach a certain level in life and once you've gotten to a certain place, when are you going to when are you going to stop coming off your throne since you're the queen and address people that are beneath you?
That
If you
part.
are the queen, then why?
That
And then
part.
for a whole day, like nonstop. I mean, what is it? And then
Right.
Megan is just sitting back being pretty, like that's what she has to do. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So We're
Absolutely.
not even, you know what I'm saying?
No.
I'm just ready for the next hot girl summer.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. So with that being said, hi everybody. That is, hang on, wait, I got it. There we go. That's Mari MonRHO there. So tell us who you are. I know who you are, but let these
Well,
good people know who you are.
can we do one more hot topic?
Sure.
Let's pray for our virtual niece, Krishan Malone. She done went and got this man's face his mug shot tattooed on her face. Like, in what world,
No.
Krishan?
No.
Has she not watched Love After Lockup?
You know, at this point,
Has she not?
Patricia,
I mean, has she not watched Love
no,
After Lockup? I
no,
mean, does she
no.
not have any homegirls to tell her that, hey, these
Apparently
men,
not.
they do a lot of talking when they behind bars, but
Right.
when they come home, they do not hold their end of the bargain.
Right. And you know what? To be honest with you, I saw that, and I'm just like, you know what? Some stuff I just want to be taken out the group chat permanently. And it's just like for you, first of all, like it's your face. It's not your arm, it's not your wrist, it's your face. Number two, like this man has to pay $13 million for what he did in Vegas. And number three, he even said that he ain't even the father and talked about the boys, thing. So it's just like he doesn't respect you at all. And I know I'm about to say is very controversial, but at this point, I give no dams, no ucks, no ish. I can't keep supporting your behavior I can't keep supporting you if you're not supporting you. Like that's what it is. And I hate to say that, I really do. But like, I'm speaking on this as if my sister would never do this because I would handle her before she did this. But it's just like at some point in time, responsibility has to matter. Like really,
Oh no, what happened?
No, I can still hear you. I think you turned your camera off. Okay, hang on. She will be back, y'all. Hang on. We are live on tour, y'all. We are live on tour. Hang on. Glad to have y'all here. Okay, there we go. Hang on. Okay, we're live. You see, we're live. It's all good. It's all good. All right, we're here. Got my glasses back on. But yeah, that's where I'm at with Krishan. Like, I wish her well, but like, I can't keep supporting this bad behavior. I can't.
Like, she's such a dope soul. Like, I saw her heart and her spirit, how she went back to the church that she came from and
I thought that was
so
cool.
back into the ministry. Like, I love her story, but I'm supporting you through prayer, Krishan Malone.
Yeah, same. I want her to be well. So just know that even though I said what I said about being done with supporting her behavior, that don't mean I don't want her to be well. Okay,
I'm supporting you through prayer.
Yeah.
I just had to get that off my chest because it just hurts my heart. Because I've been that young girl who, was in love. Even as a grown woman, been in love. So I know what it's like to, you guys, these AirPods just keep falling out my ear. I guess, I don't know why.
You're good. You are good. It's all good. As I often say to these guys, we are live on tour and anything and everything happens. We keep it real over here. So you are fine.
Keeping it real and keeping it.
That part. So, yes, indeed. So with that being said, who are you? I know who you are, but let these wonderful people know who you are.
Hey, you all. I am Marilyn. The personality formerly known as Mari MonRHO. I started out at the Real Underground Radio in Little Rock, Arkansas, and I've been on hiatus for 6 years, and I'm ready to come back. I miss podcasting, broadcasting, talking about hot topics, talking about life, talking about everything that is anything. So I'm ready for my voice to be heard. I'm ready for a comeback. Well, I'm not gonna say it's a comeback because I never really went anywhere, but I'm ready to. I'm ready to get everything back, and I have a guest host. Her name is Tay, and we are 360 conversations.
Absolutely. Now, let me ask you this because here's the thing, right? So when I first got on Clubhouse, right? For
Oh
those of
my
you who don't know
gosh.
what Clubhouse is, it's a social audio app. And I have this club called the Onyx Collab, which is at 1,500 members, by the way. Small but mighty, small but mighty. And so when I met Mari MonRHO, me and her are both from Little Rock, Arkansas. And so we have a very special connection that I will not say here, okay? But it's a very, and
You
I'll
can
just say,
say it. You can say it.
okay. So
Start that over. Start that, run that back and follow it through. Go
so
ahead.
well, I say this because I'm not going to talk about my mom, but my mom worked at a church, and it was a very unique church that in every state there is a black church. And so when Mari MonRHO said that church, that was like an instant bond, like beyond any other friend I've had, because not everybody can be connected like that. So yeah, that's how we know each other.
And that wonderful ministry is Awareness
Yes.
Center International
Yes.
in Little Rock, Arkansas, with the pioneer being Dr. Ellie Braggs.
Yes,
and
indeed.
I'm a proud product of the Awareness
Yes.
Center International, and
Absolutely.
I'm very proud to say that I sit under the leadership of Dr. Ellie Braggs and Dolores Jean Braggs, and that
Absolutely.
and any Sunday you guys are looking for a place to fellowship via
It's a good
online,
time.
you can always tune in through Facebook Live, ACIDI Nucci, under the leadership of Apostle Lakeisha Bragg. So I'm
Absolutely.
very honored to be connected to that ministry.
Absolutely. And you know what? When I was there, in the early days, he had such a voice, y'all, and he executed that voice so eloquently, articulately, and it was always a good family vibe there for sure, for sure. So with that being said, when you said that you are going to come back to this, because let me tell you something, in every hometown there is a hometown radio station. Now, you know what? I'm gonna just hang on, give me one moment, y'all, because I have to bring up the station ID. I gotta bring up the station ID because it's not just enough to tell y'all about this station ID. I have to show it. So let me get it up. And then with this station, there was another station called Hot 96.5 with Tony Seville. The legendary
yes,
Tony Seville. So
the legendary DJ No Name.
yes, DJ No Name as well. So now it's 96.5 the box. So here is this legendary ID.
Power 923 Jams and the Arkansas Minority Health Commission encourages you to take the COVID-19 vaccine to help keep you and your loved ones involved in our community. The People Station, Power 923 Jams. KIPR Pine Bluff, Little Rock, KFOG, Little Rock, a Cumulus Media Station. And now, back to the jams. Hip hop. Drake.
Girls want girls where I'm from. Girls want girls where
R&B. J. Howell.
Just cause I love you and you love me.
And now, bumping back-to-back continuous music with another fresh new jam. Heard here first on the People Station. Power 923 Jams.
That's enough of them.
Man,
that is enough of them.
Listen. If you are in Little... No, go ahead.
That is enough of them. Get them off our screen.
What? You don't like Power 92?
I'm not saying anything, but just get them off our screen.
Okay, then I will just move right along. But no, I get that.
I said it moving right along.
No, listen. I only give that for context so they know our connection and stuff. But yeah, in Little Rock, Arkansas, that station and Hot 96.5, they were competitors, right? And so down south is known for, Southern hip hop. It is real, it is tough, it's down to the grindstone, and also R&B. So for you growing up, what was some of your influences for music? Because in 360 Conversations, y'all are going to cover Black culture, HBCU, a little bit of everything. So what was music for you?
So music for me growing up was a plethora of things, because you have to remember I am, what they would say, descendant of the French Creole. And my great grandfather is Zydeco musician Freeman Fontenot. So not only did I have the local radio stations music to listen to, and vibe to, during family reunions and family visits, we listen to Zydeco music. So I'm a big fan of Zydeco music. And of course, we love our Al Green from Arkansas.
Of course,
Um,
legend.
yes, Neo, and I really love Pimp C and Bun B, UGK. With me having family that were from Beaumont and Port Arthur being right there, I've always been a big fan of Pimp C and just the underground kings of the South. I love Lil Boosie, Kevin Gates, Crucial Conflict out of Chicago. So I have a wide range of music that I like to listen to.
Now, for the music that you said, I don't want to butcher it because you know how I butcher things on Clubhouse. But what was the music that you just named, and what is that for the audience?
Zydeco music?
Yes.
Zydeco music is from Louisiana, mostly southern Louisiana, and it's the music of the Creole people. They have accordions, washboards, guitars, drums. It's a good old time.
Okay, that's what's up. No, I will. And you know what? This is the thing that I really do love about music, because a lot of people say music is a language, and honestly,
absolutely, music is a love language.
Absolutely, and to be honest with you, I feel that some of the most simplistic music does have to be the most overdone. I feel that, for the music artists of today's generation, they have to have the big stages, they gotta have the big bands. But I was watching Anita Baker singing "No One in This World" on stage just with a band and her voice. So, from your point of view, being in the world,
we're talking about Anita Baker, though. Come on,
now I know, but
Anita Baker.
Yes, but follow me here, though, because I think that this is a very valid point for the culture of hip hop, right? Do you feel that artists are more free now? And when I brought up that Anita Baker of it's just her on the stage, it seems that hip hop has grown to it being more on what will trend and click rather than for the art itself. Because the bigger the sound and the bigger, the lyrics and, all these storylines like with Nicki and Megan, the bigger you are. So what's your take on that?
I don't even know what to say about hip hop. Like, I really don't know. Like, because I never thought that my daughter would be listening to a song talking about my pussy pink, my booty hole brown. So,
listen, as we evolve, music evolves too. Like, come on now.
I know that. Because, I was listening to Salt-N-Pepa talking about if I want to take a guy home with me tonight, it's none of your business. Right. And I was singing in third grade, but
are you surprised by the evolution of the bluntness of it all? Where in the 90s it was more subtle and cloaked, and now it's just okay, you growing, so am I.
Absolutely.
I can feel that. I feel that honestly, the reason why we don't really have any anonymity and we don't respect the privacy of art anymore is because art has to be so public. I remember when, for example, Biggie and Tupac and all these people, they had their rap game, but they kept their rap game for what it was. And they allowed their art to speak for them. Now it's just like, okay, if you out here, and now anybody can get it, but it's not about the artistry as much, because you have the bigger your voice, the bigger the storylines are. I feel like they feed into the storylines instead of the art.
I don't know what they got going on, but it's I don't know why I'm a loss for words. Because I'm never at a loss for words.
You're never not. You're never are at a loss
It's
for
just next topic.
Okay. No, you're good. You're good. So we talked about music. Now, of course, you know that HBCUs are such a big deal. Um, and so I want your take on that because I know HBCU culture will be a part of this. Now, I was telling the audience before you got on that I did not get the chance to go to a HBCU. Now, there are two HBCUs, and well, actually, I think there's three. Shorter College in North Little Rock. Four. Okay. So let me see if I got them. Shorter College in North Little Rock. Then there is the University of Pine Bluff, home of the Mighty Golden Lions.
The University of Arkansas, Pine Bluff.
University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff.
Yes.
Home of the Mighty Golden Lions. So you have to say it like that. That's how they say it. Then you have Philander Smith College. Now the fourth one, you're gonna have to help
Arkansas
me out.
Baptist.
Of course, Arkansas Baptist. I live right down the street, of course. How can I forget them? Jesus, with the legendary Fitzhill. What does HBCU culture mean to you?
So for me, growing up in a small town, Arkansas, in a farm town, it was a predominantly white town.
Right.
When I was making my decision to go to college, I wanted to go to college with people who look like me, and I wanted to be educated by people who look like me. I didn't know too much about HBCUs other than, UAPB, Philander, and Grambling. That was all I knew about HBCUs before going to college. Oh, I knew about Southern too. But I knew for sure I wanted to be educated by people who look like me. Never in a million years did I think it would mold me and make me into the woman that I am today. Going to a HBCU is more than education. It's something different because I've done both. I've done PWI and I'm a proud graduate of a HBCU. I learned about myself. I learned about my culture. I learned about my history. I saw other people with full lips and big hips and big bellies and, all different types of beauty.
Absolutely.
I was able to, be more cultured because at the university at the time I was there, it was people there from Jamaica, Ghana, Ethiopia, Canada, Russia. And that's when I knew, like, I grew up in a small town. I wasn't very well educated on other continents and other countries and things of that nature. I didn't know it was a lot of white people in Africa. So I met, my white African friends at UAPB. So it's just like going to a black college as a person who grew up predominantly around white people. It made me have a sense of pride in who I am as a black woman. It also taught me to not give up. You're gonna make mistakes. It's not the mistake that you made, it's how you overcome the mistake that you made. Because I actually I'm a late bloomer. I did go to college. I ended up getting into some troubles and I quit going to school.
You're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. I can't hear you now. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can now.
Okay, so we're just gonna.
You're good. You're good. So
we're gonna 86.
So,
the
you're good. You're
you
good.
Can hear me good.
Yes,
still?
I can. Yes. So as you were saying,
I took some time off from college and went to cosmetology school, got my cosmetology license. And during the pandemic, I was like, I can't do this. My daughter needs to see that you should finish what you start. So I went back and re-enrolled in the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, and I finished my degree. And I graduated from UAPB in May. By June, I was in graduate school. And a year later, I had my master's degree. So I was on a roll.
Right. And congratulations on all that. I really do mean that. Let me ask you this, because you said that you took a break. do you feel that sometimes when it comes to the education system, that they push so hard for excellence that they don't think about the mental excellence of us as people? Because going to Kent State University, one thing that I felt was, and it was a PWI, that's a predominantly white institution, y'all, in case y'all did not know. For me, I found my blackness through my professors and through Black United students, but it wasn't that culture overall like you had. And one thing that I felt not being in my home state is it was such a culture shock to me that I had to feel like I had to do more than if I was down south with my own people. So how did you feel about having that break? Did you feel like that break actually made you better to go after those accomplishments?
Yes, I definitely need to take a break because I was not in a good place mentally. So I took a break and came back. But the great thing about an HBCU is a lot of times the professors and things of that nature, they stay there forever. So I was blessed to go back to school and get in a program. And one of the last classes I had to take in my department in mass communication, I was able to have class with Miss Donna Barnes. And she told me she was proud of me for coming back and finishing. And she was like, I always knew that once you figured out who you were, that you would do great things in life. And that is something that I would take with me forever, is graduating from UAPB and being able to have her that last semester I was in school. And God rest her soul, she transitioned a year later.
Wow.
So being able to have that full circle moment was. And one thing I can say about UAPB, they had things in place for mental health awareness. Even back then, when I was in the early 2000s, when people weren't having that conversation about mental health. So that's another great thing about being at an HBCU, is they care about us. We're not just numbers coming in there to
for enrollment. Yep.
They care about us as the whole student, not just to get us in and get us out. It was times where Mr. Adrian Gardner, he was a professor in my department. I missed class for a whole week at one point in time because some things were going on. That man called my phone until I went and had a meeting in his office to see what was going on. So the HBCU experience, especially the early 2000s, when I was there at the University of Arkansas, it was hands-on and it was family. You know, a lot of times you go into these jobs, into these schools and these universities and these different places, and they sell you this dream like, oh, we're a family. And it's just words. At UAPB, it's more than words. It's actions that are.
And first of all, thank you for that. You know, as you were describing that experience of your the first experience of being able to have a second chance, not everybody gets that second chance. And it's so interesting because one of my professors, Eugene Shelton, love that brother. He's still here, thank God. Because I work at a grocery store, and you know, at working at a grocery store, you see the regular schmegular people, in the words of Cardi. And so, you know, I was just talking to him about my accomplishments and what I'm trying to do, and still, you know, pursue this media dream. And one day, and it's that full circle moment that you had, but in a different way. And I said, Professor Shelton, and he was like, Braylon, stop. You can call me Eugene. You've earned that right. I'm like, are you sure? Because I've been raised to say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. I've been raised to say professor. And so I think truly what that shows me with your experience and my experience is that there are some that are professors of the responsibility of what they do at school, but then there are mentors and those background support team members that listen. If they see you struggling, they don't care what time it is. They will they what you think is small, they will put a Super Bowl alert mentality in their brain to make sure you're okay. And I thank God for those people. I really do. Really, really do. So you talked about cosmetology school, and
you know, I'm a jack of all trades. I do hair. I have managed artists. I've had my own radio show. I'm currently an educator, educating the greatest students in the Houston area. So you know,
absolutely. And I want to talk
I do a little bit of this, do a little bit of that. One thing about it, I'm gonna make some money. I guarantee that.
That part, and that is for sure. I wanted to talk about those different facets, and I wanted to start with cosmetology because you know the movie series Barbershop, even though it was entertainment for the rest of them, it was still entertainment to us in Black culture, but we knew that was our culture. Talk about the power of cosmetologists and beauty salons in our culture, because when you think about that, you got everybody coming through. You got, you know, CEOs, you got corporate suite executives, you got students, you have professors, you have the grandma around the way that was the grandmother of the neighborhood, where even though she wasn't your grandma, you knew if you did respect her, you won't get disrespected when you got back home. So talk about the power of cosmetology and just Black culture with that.
So the last salon that I worked in Arkansas was actually Hollywood Studios. Make sure y'all go look up Hollywood Tanya. She's a phenomenal stylist. So in that salon, it was like 7 or 8 of us in there, and we were all different people individually. And it was great to see, you know, the different type of clientele, because people attract who they are.
Yes, they do.
So, and with Tanya being who she is and having the name that she has, we had several celebrities that would come through to get their hair done and things of that nature. But one thing about it was the camaraderie of it, and us traveling to the Bonner Brothers convention together and watching Tanya get on that stage and compete and be the first person from Arkansas to win that particular competition, and how we were able to celebrate.
That's amazing.
Yes, and how we were able to celebrate her. And it was just a fun experience working in a salon with different women with different perspectives and, you know, different ideas, and even all the bullshit that came along with it and the arguments, everything. At the end of the day, we were a family, and when something was going down and we needed to support each other, we supported each other. We stood one for all for one another.
Absolutely.
So, being in the hair game is a good experience, because you get to see women and have an intimate bond with women that you wouldn't typically have if you just sitting beside them in church, or, you know, being a waitress, doing things that you're actually standing over them. You're shampooing their hair. This is one of the few industries other than the medical profession where we're touching people. And we're the most sensitive part of the human body, which is the head, and the most spiritual part of the human body.
Absolutely.
And people don't trust just anybody in their head, especially people who walk in a certain spiritual level. They're not going to let anybody get that close to them, because who you allow to touch you is imparting into you. So you are. It's more than just. It's more than just, you know, being a hairstylist. You are a confidant, a psychiatrist, a gatekeeper, a motivator, all of it. So it's more than just knowing how to cut some hair and lay some tracks. You have to be spiritually in tune with yourself, because if you are a mess mentally, your work is not going to be as good sometimes. And you, somebody who's very spiritual, it could cause them to have a be imbalanced. So you have to be very mindful of who you let do your hair, and you
Right.
have to be mindful too of whose hair that you do, because
Mm.
you could be, taking in some things that you don't want to take in. My childhood stylist, Miss Dorothy Miller, she taught me that when I would go get my hair done, she was always
Mm-hmm.
playing gospel music. And I was like, why is this lady always playing gospel music? And spending time with her, I come to find out that she was a pastor and that she was a very spiritual woman. And she would always tell me about not letting everybody touch you, especially touching your head, because
Mm-hmm.
spirits transfer.
Yes, they do. Absolutely.
And you have to be mindful, you know, of what spirits are transferring
Right.
in and out of you.
No, absolutely. And I thank you for that because, when me and my dad go to the barbershop, it's the exact same way. The exact same way. And there would be a barbershop, there would be I think Arkansas Barber College. And they had like different locations. There was one in North Little Rock, right across the
No,
street
no,
from the
no, 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 no. The Barber College, the best Barber College in North
Mhm.
Little Rock, Arkansas, is New Tyler.
I do remember New Tyler. I do remember New Tyler. I think I went there maybe once or twice, I think. But yes, New Tyler is definitely legend in Little Rock, Arkansas. Um and thank you for bringing that up. New Tyler, Arkansas Barber College. There's so many of them. There will be this one barber shop in North Little Rock. It was like in the shopping center, and they would play 1021 KOKY All Blue Saturday. And let me tell you something. I still remember the commercial, y'all. This is oh my lord. I feel like I'm gonna lose half the audience while I do this commercial. So I gotta close my eyes to do it.
Don't do
Cause
it. I said, don't do
don't
it.
do the commercial? Okay.
I'm joking.
Because no, seriously. Let me see if I can remember. They say that the DJ shall know how to party on a Saturday. Walter T, yes, y'all, DJ Paul. I've been waiting all weekend long. I've been waiting all week to get to the weekend, y'all. For the all blues Saturday, y'all. I just want to listen to the blues and want to dance all day. 1021 KOKY. Lock it in, baby. Leave it alone. All Blue Saturday is on the grown-up choice. Little Rock's 1021 KOKY. Y'all, every time I go home, I basically know that commercial before it comes on. That's how ingrained radio is into me. That's how much culture is into me. And you know what Mari MonRHO said about, hearing that music and having those conversations. Sometimes, and most of the time, really at barbershops and beauty shops, you gain these uncles and aunties. You gain these nieces and nephews. You gain the uniters in the neighborhood, and you learn so much from them. Sometimes you'll hear something that's not your business, and sometimes they'll make you reset yourself of like, wait a minute, you know what? I may not be where I want to be, but at least I ain't that bad. And it really is community. It really is. So that's what's up. Mary, you still there? You're good. You can turn it back on. I did the commercial and everything. Yes, indeed. By the way, hi, everybody. Braylon here. That is Mary. There you go. That's Mari MonRHO there. We are talking, getting to know her. 360 conversations. We were just talking about cosmetology and the power of cosmetology. You say you did art. You repped artists, managed artists.
I had a brief stint with artist management, right?
Yes.
But when I do something, I do it from the depths of my soul. Right? That's why I took such a long hiatus with doing radio or podcasting or whatever you want to call it. because I had to find out more things about myself once I moved away. And with artist management, you're dealing with personalities. And a lot of times, these artists, they think they know everything.
Mm-hmm.
And if you knew everything, you would know that your BMI and your ASCAP is registered wrong. I wouldn't be having to come in and fix this and do that. And they don't want to listen. And I don't
Right.
have to. And I had fun doing it, but I'd rather do radio.
Understood.
And
Did you? No, go ahead.
I said I'd rather do radio and just manage myself.
Right. Now, let me ask you this because I feel that doing that lane of work, there had to be some lessons out of that helps you with radio, right?
Oh, absolutely. There were
especially. Yes, go ahead.
There were a lot of lessons I learned in doing artist management, artist development, things of the nature. And one of them was it's to always trust yourself. It was times that I would tell certain artists to do things, do it, and they didn't want to do it, or they listened to somebody else.
Right.
And if their project failed, or whatever they were working on failed because they didn't want to listen. And it was times I was like, maybe it's me or da da da. I learned to trust myself. I learned how to be more organized too. So it's just, a handful.
No, I believe it. So that leads us to 360 Conversations, the new platform that you and your Lord help. I should remember all this stuff.
It's okay. This is a freshener for both of us, and then my hair is just.
You're fine. You're fine. You're absolutely fine. So the platform 360 Conversations. Do you feel that this project really has been the project that you've been needing to get back? Because even in this interview, we still are covering a little bit of everything. We covered hair. I was a nerd with radio for a minute. You talked about HBCU culture, how much that means to you. It seems like this project really brought you back to radio because it seems to me that in all the experiences that you've had pieces of what it was to have an overall experience, but you never had an overall experience, if that makes sense.
Yes. So with 360 Conversations, it's different. I've actually been working on this for a year now. I was supposed to have started back last year, but things ended up happening and I wasn't able to focus on it the way that I wanted to. This project in this time is everything to me. It's something I'm taking really serious. I'm being patient with it. I'm not rushing the process because when you rush things, it never comes out right. You have to take your time and do things when you want it to be good. Not take too long, but make sure you're taking the time and you're putting the effort in to make sure it's going to be great. And that's my only focus right now. It's making sure that this is going to be great. I'm excited about it because I've grown so much as a woman in these 6 years. It's been a total life change for me. I went from being in the town where I knew everybody, was there with my family. I was in a comfort zone. And I just up and decided to move to Houston, Texas, where I didn't know anyone, where my closest, I didn't have any, I have family members here. But it's always different when it's the family members that you grew up with and the family members that you just see at family reunions.
That part.
You love them, and you know that they're family and they're there for you, but it's nothing like the bond that you have with your homegrowns, right?
Absolutely.
So I've become a woman in these 6 years. I've gotten to know myself. I know what I like and what I don't like. I know what I will and I won't accept. I know what I want to talk about in 360 Conversations and things that I probably talked about before as Mari MonRHO, that I'm not going to entertain those conversations anymore because I'm almost a 41-year-old woman now. I'm a woman of a certain age. So I'm really excited about the project. I'm really excited to interview people and have candid conversations with them. Have those intimate conversations because people are always comfortable talking to me and speaking to me about anything. So I'm ready to have conversations with people and for people to see a different side of those people. I will be interviewing artists. I will be interviewing business owners. I will be interviewing professors. I'll be interviewing travel agents, all type of people in all areas of excellence. But I want to go behind the veil. I don't want to just have basic conversations with people because everybody can get the surface level. I want to get
Correct.
behind this. I want people to be able to see how people become successful, what it took for you to get here. Because a lot of times we see people as an overnight success or
Yes, we
it
do.
just happened, but they don't know. Some of these people slept in their cars or sat in the house with no electricity to grind to get to where they are, or they grew up in house with holes in them and with no insulation, so they were cold in the winter and hot
Right.
in the summer. Fortunately, you know what I'm saying, those weren't my circumstances because my I have a hard working father, but that's
Right.
not everybody's story. So, and
Absolutely.
even like the clothing brand I'm wearing right now, Dope Runner Clothing, it's a
Okay.
brand out of Arkansas. Dope Runner Clothing was founded by Charlo Campbell, and his brand is growing and flourishing. You might want to check him out. He has a brand that has branched from this brand called Run Fresh Forever, and if you could pull that up,
Yeah,
um,
I'm pulling up right now as we speak. Give me
yeah,
one
Dope
moment
Runner
here.
Clothing.
Let me see here. Let me pull up the. Is this it here? Hopefully, this is it.
Yes.
There it is. Oh wow. Okay. I like it. Okay. See, I can rock the maroon. I can rock the maroon. I can do that for sure. So, how long has he has it? How long has this brand been out?
So Dope Runner Clothing has been out about 7 or 8 years. Um, so it's growing and flourishing. He has Run Fresh Forever now. He just recently signed a deal with the Girls Club of America. So it's a growing
Oh
brand. And,
wow.
I'm super excited to represent them. I'm super excited for Charlo and Kelsey and everything that they have going on with Dope Runner and Run Fresh Forever. So
That is awesome.
excited.
Well, listen. I mean, if they ever need anything at all, you know how much I love black business. And wait a minute, they got this now. Why we try to erase the FUPA? Okay, FUPA is a blessing. What we doing here?
It's
What
all
you know
about being
what?
healthy. It's all about being healthy.
That is
Uh,
true. That's
I
true.
recently lost a little over 30 pounds. I'm trying to lose.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And Dope Runner Clothing, they're promoting a healthier lifestyle. Um,
Okay,
and so that's what it's about, being healthy. Kelsey is a personal trainer. His Charlo's fiance. They're an amazing couple, and I'm super excited about everything that they have going on, and what they're doing with Dope Runner Clothing.
absolutely. Let me show y'all their IG here. Just that way you guys can know what the IG is. 13,000 followers there. Okay, here it is here. 5 years of hard work. Finally hitting this milestone. Fashion's cool, but this has always been my dream from year two. I've aimed to conquer the kids' world, inspired by growing up on Nickelodeon Disney sets where imagination soared. Last summer, during my 2 weeks in LA, we pitched this to networks. And exciting news, next year, we dive into production on the first cartoon and video game from our home state. That is awesome. I may have to reach out and see if we can get them on here because I would love to promote that. I absolutely would.
And Charlo's
Absolutely would love to
Kelsey, they're
promote that.
amazing, and they definitely would do the interview. So it's super dope.
That is really cool. Well, thank you for that. Absolutely.
Um,
That is amazing. So, with all that being said, what do you hope people get out of 360 conversations? Because I think that's one thing when it comes to content that we think about in the back of our head, but we never allowed to get to the front of our head, because as content creators and as radio hosts and personalities, we're about the work. You know what I mean? It's almost like when you do make it, like Dope Run of Clothing has made it. When you hear a compliment of like, "Oh, I love your clothing," you're like, "Oh, thank you so much," but you gotta get back to the work. So for you, what do you hope that people take away from this platform?
I hope that people take away from the platform that you can be yourself and still make it. I want everyone to know that God put something great inside of all of us. It's just us taking the time to get to know ourselves, to figure out what that great thing is, and cultivating it and growing it to become the best of who we are. I want people to be able to listen to 360 conversations, to be able to laugh, cry, see something in the conversations that I have with the different people who I'm going to have on, and say, I can achieve that. I can do that. I want people to know that there is greatness inside of them. No matter what you've gone through, no matter what you've experienced, there's still a blessing on the other side of through. Because always remember that through is a transitional word. It means that you're going.
Mm,
It's not a place to stay there. So I want people to see that no matter what you go through, no matter what it is, I can get through this. I want people to tune in and be able to laugh and be able to be like, I'm having a bad day. Let me tune in. Let me look at one of these
mhm.
old episodes so I can laugh. Or let me tune into this old episode and see there is a travel agent on there. Let me get with her to see how I can book my travel. Because Black people should start traveling more. You know,
Yes, we
a
do.
lot of Black people don't have passports. I'm guilty of it. I'm one of them. I
I'm,
don't.
I'm I'm one of them as well. Sadly,
So I want
sadly.
people to expand who they are, not and read more. I'm gonna have authors on there. And just get more knowledge and just know that there's greatness on the inside.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate that, because I think a lot of times the reasons why it's so hard to break out in Black media and in content creation is because the market is so saturated with everybody trying to be a star that you don't know what is original and what's a duplicate. So I appreciate the fact that won't just be a surface level conversation, that it really will go there. I think the biggest thing, and of course this is coming from one radio broadcaster to another radio broadcaster, is never forget your humanity on the mic. And that's a fine line, you know what I mean? Because and I say that actually have done it, because when Mari MonRHO said at the top of this interview that, Braylon, this is not your first interview technically. Now, this is my first interview on YouTube, but technically it's not my
It's
first interview
not.
overall. Because there was, for those of you who may not remember, there was a movie called False Advertisement. This was happened on Clubhouse. There was a rumor about Benzino being gay. And so there was a content creator, I won't mention their name, but they said that the movie did not exist. So what I did was I did the groundwork. Hey, Phyllis Crawford, welcome in. Glad to have you here. So I did the groundwork, found the movie out
Hey,
at the
Philly.
American Black Film Festival, and I found the director, called Director Cricket, let him know what was going on. I got to talk to Benzino on the phone, and we got Black Duchess from Black Ink Crew, Director Cricket, Benzino, and Darius, and we had the exclusive interview about the film and got to
Dino
express
was going
everything.
crazy.
He was.
I was like, oh my gosh. That
No,
was so funny.
absolutely.
That was a super dope night. I'll never forget that.
Let me tell you, that was one of the most legendary rooms in Onyx collab history. And honestly, y'all, all I did was just do my research and use my phone. That was it. But I also had to know what I was talking about too. And so here's where the lesson comes in of remembering your humanity on the mic. I remember during that time that even though I had the exclusive, now I could have done anything I wanted to in the interview, but I also know that there's a way to handle everything in the interview. And so we actually talked about the movie really in depth of why was false advertisement made, what was the point behind it. And so I truly felt, oh, hang on. I think you did that in the, wait, are you on your phone? Okay, try, because you did backstage. Are you on YouTube? Do you have another device?
I use this one.
Okay, I gotcha. Because she was trying to say, hey, y'all, in the chat, but you used the back chat. So,
oh, well, hey, hello, everybody.
Glad to have y'all here. And so there was a point in time in the interview that I was like, okay, should I ask the question or not ask the question? But I'm like, there's a way to do it. So the way I set it up,
Change the screen.
Wait, say that again?
Change the screen.
Oh, my bad. Thank you. See, we are live, y'all. So when it came time for that question, I wanted the interview to be about the movie for the first part of it before we got to that question, because I feel that when it comes to not just staff and crew, but when it comes to Black staff and crew, these crews do 8, 12 hours, sometimes 20-hour days. And I felt like for Black Duchess, for Black Ink Crew, and the team there at Ambitious Daydream Productions to put so much work in, it would be quite disrespectful not to give the film the time of day. So when I brought that question up, it was in the context of, okay, there's been this false advertisement of this rumor. How does this make you feel? I added with a context that made sense. And I said, you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but I feel like it's better if you address it. And he addressed it. And the only reason why he addressed it was because of the way I did it. And let me tell y'all something. After that night, he did. He absolutely did, head on. And so it was, and everybody got to ask a question. But of course, I'm the main interviewer. But that interview really showed me the power of who I was on Clubhouse, because for those of you who don't know, there are bigger content creators than me on Clubhouse. And there would be times
none of them could get him in their room.
No,
none of them. He wouldn't go to nobody else's room because he knew that he was going to get disrespected and he wouldn't be able to talk and he wouldn't be able to have his voice heard. And that's one thing that I can say about you as an interviewer. And one thing that I'm going to make sure that I take on with 360 Conversations is to make sure that the people who I'm interviewing have a voice.
Absolutely.
You made sure that they were able to have a voice, and making sure that the people who you're interviewing have a voice is very important, because if we were just going to get on here and talk and make everything about us, what would be the point of having on interviewing them, talking to them what they're doing or a situation that they have going on? It's let the people have a voice, let them talk.
Absolutely. And I appreciate you giving me that comment. I love you right back. And let me tell you, that interview for me on Clubhouse, I try my very best to be, oh my God. Sorry, I've been going through this mucus thing for a minute. But I try to make sure, listen, we are live. I try to make sure that I was the most level-headed in that conversation. Because even though I think I was 28 at the time, I think, when I did that interview.
You're 30?
No, I'm 29 now. I'm 29.
So you were 27. Because that was
27. Correct. So I was 27 when I did that interview. And for those of you who've gotten to know me on this channel, and for Mari MonRHO who got to know me through the Onyx collab, I have a very old soul. But also I haven't been in every space. So that interview could have went really any way, but I knew with media being the focus and being able to bring the soul out of the content, then that's what I do, and I do it well. So after all that happened, we had an after party. Everybody came in. Bray, you did such a good job. I'm like, y'all, this is not about me. No, it is about you. You did that ish, Bray. Don't downplay yourself. And I promise y'all, every time that I say, y'all, I'm just one person, I don't do much, I'm not that big of a deal, I have friends and family that will get on my case like, Bray. And here's the main reason why I downplay my gift. Because I know the work it takes to do this industry. I know the work it takes, right? You have to be willing to be criticized, and you have to be willing to say what needs to be said. And with me, yes, I did go to Kent State University. I also went to Arkansas Tech in Russellville. Shout out to them. But I also I'm a nerd at this thing. And if you ever are inside the Onyx collab, which is weeknights 10 9 Central in Clubhouse, you guys will hear Braylon from YouTube on a whole different level. Because when we get into a media conversation, and Mari MonRHO will vouch for this, I will pull out the encyclopedia out of my head like nothing. And there are no notes in front of me. And I think that goes to my level of not just expertise, but my expertise of sincerity and care. Because I feel that in media, even though we have gatekeepers who control who goes in and out the gate, we don't have people who care for the gate. And what I mean by that is we don't have people who care about the lock and how oiled the lock is. We don't have people who care about the gate codes. We don't have people who care about the maintenance of the gate. And so for me right now in the industry, I feel like I'm one of those people that's caring for the gate right now. I'm not ready to go through the gate just yet, but at least I'm maintaining the gate for the people who are coming through. So, but all in due time.
Well, I hate to cut you short, but I've got to get on mommy duty and
You're
get my
good. You're good
tomorrow. But thank you for this.
You're absolutely good.
I'm looking
no problem.
To doing more things with you. Definitely going to have my episodes as well. I'm excited about what's coming with 360 Conversations. I'm ready to get back in the game and do my thing. Make sure that people have a voice. Make sure that truth is told. I make sure that I am an unbiased interviewer. So I'm looking forward to it. And make you guys tune in.
Yes. Whenever you get that link ready, send it over to me. I'll post it on my community wall.
Okay. And just know on all social media platforms, you can follow 360 Conversations. It's 360 and spelled conversations the regular way. And we looking forward to 360 Conversations with Marilyn and Tay, where your voice is heard, because everything in life comes full circle. Thank you so much.
I love that. That's awesome. Love you, Queen. We'll talk soon. Great job.
Bye.
Bye, Queen. Oh, man, that was good. Wasn't that a good interview? Y'all, let me tell you something. I think I did a good job, I think. Now, here's the thing. Some of my questions were a little long in the tooth, but sometimes you have to be long in the tooth in order to get to the destination, as we all know here. So I appreciate y'all coming through. Like I said, this was my first interview on YouTube. I was really nervous because it's one thing when you do it with a celebrity. It's another thing when you do it with somebody that you care about. Thank you so much, Nicki News. Thank you. And y'all, I'm not going to sit here in front. I feel like ever since that one incident that happened, like, I wish there were more people here right now. And I don't know if the numbers are not numbering because of that incident that happened. And I guess that kind of hurts me a little bit. So that was Mari MonRHO. So she has a new platform called 360 Conversations that will be coming out very soon. And she's a friend of mine from Arkansas inside the Onyx collab on Clubhouse. Excuse me. So yeah, that's who that was. And I'm gonna be real with y'all. That live panel, or that open panel that had that incident, it's got like 157 views, and I really am proud of that. I've debated on either editing that part out of the live or taking it down fully. You know what I mean? Because I don't roll that way on my channel, and I don't want the viewership to be determined by that incident. And I was feeling that with this interview. Like, I know this is going to be a good interview. I want more people to come through, but I also feel like that incident kind of hurt me a little bit. Okay. 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 All right. Thank you. Because I'm just like, you work so hard to make sure that you have a good channel. And I want y'all to know that I don't roll that way. I know y'all don't roll that way. We don't roll that way. Because I was really pissed off at myself. Like, first of all, I should not have brought him up. You know what I mean? And I don't want Black people to think that I condone that behavior. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? I may edit it. I think the main reason why I left it in is because I think sometimes we need to be able to see ignorance so we can combat with intelligence. I'm gonna say that again. I think sometimes we need to see ignorance so we can combat with intelligence. I think we need to see ignorance in order to combat with intelligence. And yeah, I mean, really, I thank God for my mom. You know, she is the spiritual leader of our family. She's the spiritual and the why. My dad is the logical and the how. So if you combine my mom, who's the spiritual and the why, and my dad's the logical and the how, that's a powerful combination. And so I did not want, I didn't want my support system, and y'all are part of my support system. I didn't want my support system to think that that was who I was. You know what I mean? So I just wanted that to be said and known and all that stuff. You know what I mean? If anything, I think at 29 years old, the fact that I handled that live very well goes to show how far I've come. But also, too, I'm getting close to 90,000 views. So 90,000 views versus an incident of someone's ignorance, I think that says everything that needs to be said. You know what I mean? So, but I just wanted to give context to y'all because let me tell you something, I put good damn work in this channel, okay? I put quality over quantity on here. Slow and Steady wins the race, but there is no other show on YouTube that brings you diversity like this channel does. You know, I was talking to a coworker today, and I was saying to him, like, we go from Kwanzaa to Pornhub in one show. We go from Carlos King to Dexter King. Like, that's our range on the show. Like, we go there. And I feel, at first, when I started the virtual tour brand, I didn't know what was going to become. You know what I mean? I thought, truly, I thought, you know, Tosh.0 and ridiculousness, you know, those are the shows for white culture. And I'm just, no, you know what, Phyllis, is absolutely all right. Don't worry. It will be, I'm going to put timestamps in it. Is absolutely okay. And Phyllis, let me tell you something. And as I'm saying it to you, I'm saying it to myself, and I'm saying for all of us, just because you don't see it right away doesn't mean that you're not supporting. And I say that because I have family members back at home who I miss dearly. That I'm not there for. And so I want you to know, just because you weren't here doesn't mean that you weren't supporting me. Because, and I think this is something that we have to talk about in Black culture, that support is not just money. Support is saying hi. Support is saying a goodbye. Support is that like, that share, that comment, that subscribe. That support is, hey, Bray, I'm just checking in on you. You good? That support is, hey, Bray, this is a story that you might want to talk about. So to me, support is a spectrum. It's not so much you being here. And if you are a content creator, you think that support means that you have to be there or your subscribers have to be there, I'm just going to say this, you're a shitty content creator. You're shit. Because nobody has to give a damn about you. Nobody at all. Not here, not there, not anywhere. And I think in the society of social media, we get so bogged down in how many subscribers we have and how many likes and how many shares and how many comments and this, that, and the third. And listen, before y'all get on to me, well, Braylon, you always talk about your view count when you get to 50,000, 60,000, 70,000, 80,000, 90,000. You know why I do that? Because at the end of the day, sometimes you have to throw down in order for people to see how you rise up. That's why I do that. Number two, these people, hang on, wait. Those people right there, the legendary tourists, the virtual travels, the virtual tour family, they give a damn about me. So when I hit 90,000 views, that's their 90,000 views too. I really mean that. So I think the reason why I am climbing is because I recognize, and I say this often, anyone can be a present to entertain you, but it takes somebody to be a gift to bless you. I'm not one of those people that's just going to come on live and do a 6-minute live when I came on to talk about a hot topic. I'm not one of those people. I'm not. And I'm just going to say this right now. My journey on YouTube has been an interesting one. And I'm going to say this right now. I think at this point with Love and Marriage Huntsville, it has come to the point where whatever has happened with content creators in the past, screw all that ish. Now, there's some stuff you can't forgive, okay? We ain't going, But for example, Here for Hot Tea. I actually saw Here for Hot Tea on Don Michelle's Instagram story. Here for Hot Tea, you are a beautiful young lady. And I just want to say this to you right now, because I did DM you. All is forgiven. I love you. I value. I embrace you. I think at that time, it was very contentious because of what happened. And I'm sad that a moment in time ruined me and Here for Hot Tea's connection. Because if you really think about it, if you really hashtag really think about it, me and Here for Hot Tea are one and the same. She's the female side of me. I'm the male side of her. I think Here for Hot Tea goes in a little bit harder on the paint than I do. But also she's a black woman. And she's got black woman privilege to be able to go hard on the paint. And even though I can't do that because I'm not a black woman, that doesn't mean that my black man privilege can't be felt on the pavement either. So from the bottom of my heart, the depths of my soul, the foundation of my being, one of the goals I have, hopefully this year, is if Here for Hot Tea does a live, and she's been doing lives recently, but she drops the link, I hope I can come up and hopefully we can reconvene or start anew with our she goes very hard, but you know what though, it is warranted, necessary, and it's needed, damn it. And I truly felt that when Maurice and Martell went after her, it was dead wrong. You put yourself on TV, this is what comes with it. This is what comes with it. And so I think Here for Hot Tea is one of the most legendary content creators on this platform, and she is a necessary voice in the sector. I said it. So I don't know if you will hear this Here for Hot Tea, but just know all is forgiven. I love you. And, you know, when I was over at your live, you said, Bray, I hope all is well. And all is well. But I just want you to know that you and me are good. And do I have to do this publicly? No, I do not. But I believe the only way to move forward is to showcase energy that is about moving forward. So I just want that on the record. You know what I mean? So listen, it's all good. It's a new year, new energy, new possibilities. That's how I feel about it. And, you know, honestly, too, I feel that, I've thought about this with myself. You know, I sometimes you wonder how you're taken in a sector. And I feel like in this particular sector, in the Love and Marriage Huntsville sector, I am a undercover legend. And what do I mean by undercover legend? I am an undercover legend for the fact of I'm not known to everybody, but once you get to know me, you understand why I'm a legend. Like I said, 86 videos on this particular season. 15 after shows, 101 videos on this season alone. 2 to 3 hour lives. Every thumbnail original, every piece of commentary original. And I think the reason why you guys have taken to me so much, thank you so much, Queen. I appreciate that. I think the reason why you guys have taken me so much is because, for one, I let y'all know up front, I'm coming. You may not like what I'm going to say, but at least you know I'm coming. That's one. Number two, I also recognize I don't know everything. And I give you that up front. I don't know everything. But the stuff I do know, I don't apologize for. But also, too, I think for me be the age that I'm at to care about issues that are bigger than me, I think that goes to show that there's more to Black men than just working out at the gym. That's just about getting women. And I think that it goes to show that, Black men are more than just about being about business. One thing that, I'm talking to my dad about is the diversity of being a Black man, on this channel. And I think y'all can say this for sure. This is not a typical Black man's channel. You are going to feel happy on this channel. You're going to feel sad on this channel. You're going to feel pissed off on this channel. You're going to feel reflective on this channel. You're going to feel like this, where you're going to want to turn off the camera and be like, you know what? I'm not dealing with you, Braylon. You're going to feel every emotion on this channel. And I know I don't represent every Black man. We're not a monolith, but I am very proud at 29 years old that for some, I'm not going to say some odd reason, because at some point in time, it's only some odd reason when you don't know why. But it's a reason when you do know why. And I think for those of you who embrace me, to some of y'all, I'm a nephew. To some of y'all, I'm a cousin. For some of y'all, I'm a grandson. I know Beverly Childs called me that. For some of y'all, I'm your son. For some of y'all, I'm an unk. For some of y'all, and I know no woman has said this, but for some of y'all wish, I wish Brian was older, because me and him will be dating right now. And I think the biggest compliment you can ever receive from people is how you matter to them. And I've thought about the trajectory of this channel. And I often said, just because you're not seen by everybody doesn't mean that you're not being seen. And right now, I think I'm at 1,597 subscribers. I've come to recognize that as I climb, I'm not going to be perfect, but also, too, the only way to climb is by being imperfect. And so to me, and my mama said this, if God never does another thing for me, I'm more than blessed. And I feel like that with this channel. If I would never grow anymore, I feel that I am successful. By the way, that's not going to happen to everybody who thinks that's going to happen. I'm just giving a point of view here that I'm at the point now with my gift that it's so legendary, it doesn't have to be seen by everybody. It's better to have flies coming to your honey than giving vinegar and everybody seeing you throw vinegar. I'm going to say that one more time. It's better to give honey to the people that want to love you and be seen by those people than giving out vinegar to everybody and everybody sees you. Because guess what? The same way you can get 1 million It's the same way you can get to zero. In order to get to 1 million, you have to gain 1 million. In order to lose 1 million, you have to lose 1 million. So I'm gonna drop the link for y'all. Now, trust me, I've learned my lesson. Okay, trust me, it's all good. It is all good. It is all good, y'all. The link is pinned if you guys want to come on up. I really do feel proud. I really, really do. Yeah, I do. I'm trying not to overthink it, you know what I mean? Of the power of voice. And I think about that often when I'm on a panel. You know, Chit Chat with QT was live tonight, and I wasn't passing Braylon tonight. I was just being a support, because this is another thing too you gotta recognize. Like I said, support is a spectrum. Every panel you don't need to be on. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's important for you to be the student. If you're always teaching, how can you learn anything? And I think that happened with Demi W. Me and Demi, we caught up one night, and you know, one of the questions, because I saw her on Queen Sheba, I was saying, man, I miss Demi W. And we talked, and you know, just catching her up on what I was going through, and she catching me up on what she was going through. And when we were talking about the whole Martell thing, you know one of the things that she said to me? She said, Braylon, I was looking for you on Queen Sheba. I was looking for you on Chit Chat with QT. And that's what I mean. That's what I mean by how successful you are. Because let me tell you something. Subscriber count does not determine your success. Your viewership doesn't determine your success. It is the connection with your audience that determines your success. The fact that a Black woman was looking for me to give a take from a man's point of view on a Black woman's YouTube channel. Not everybody has that as their tier. Not everybody can hang their hat on that one. Not everyone can take a victory lap on that. So, you know, I know that I may not be known as one of the biggest content creators in the Love and Marriage Huntsville sector, but I do know that I'll put it like this. If I ever show up at a Melamita party and Nicki New sees me, I know she's coming to run over and hug me. If I see Phyllis, I know she's coming over and run and hug me. If I see Chit Chat, if I see you know what? Sassy asked if I was coming. That's another tier. The fact that Sassy T from the AO3 asked me if I was going. I know if T Talk with your girl saw me, she will be hugging nephew. And I think that's real success. You know what I mean? And let me tell you something, even though, and I don't know if males were at the Millimeter event, but I bet you this though, because y'all remember that night when somebody DM'd some receipts to Melody, if you all remember that night. I think if I walked in that room that night with a fresh suit on, by the way, I'm coming to see a queen, I gotta come correct as a king, I think Melody would have been thrilled to see Braylon Lee. I think if I came in the room and started to sit down, and she'd be like, wait, Carlos, Carlos, you want to know who a real man is? Stand up, Braylon. Melody, who running this? Okay, come up here for a minute. Y'all, this brother right here, a real brother right here. And what I've come to know, understand, and embrace is this. We all look for our moment to be seen, but that doesn't mean that that's the experience that is going to be the most powerful for you to get embraced. I'm going to say that one more time. Just because we look for our moment to be seen doesn't mean that is the most opportune time for that to be the most powerful experience for you to be embraced. Because here's the tea that we're about to clock into. Y'all ready to clock that tea? If you are that powerful, that moment will happen when it's supposed to happen. I'm going to let that sit for a minute. Albert Einstein said, imagination is everything. It's the preview to life's coming attractions. I was on with Melody Cherie. Okay. I've talked with Don Michelle. If your gift is that powerful, your gift will be embraced when it's time. It will be embraced when it's time. And I think we've seen that from YouTube. There are so many people that want to be seen so desperately that they ruin their experience to be embraced. And I would rather go slow and enjoy going up the stairs than go into that elevator of success knowing that that cable can snap at any time. Because when I was live with Melody Cherie, I gave that HBCU idea. All of you who agreed with her, she saw that. And also, too, can we also acknowledge the fact that to go from somebody that came as an enemy, I'm sorry, I'll put it like, let me flip it, reverse it around and all the way back. I think when I went on that live, I think what that did for Melody, and I think it was Nicki News, or you know what, I think it was Revelation 2023. I remember now. Revelation 2023 said, I think Melody remembered you from that night. Isn't it amazing for Melody Cherie to see two sides of black men? To see one man that came to her as a curse and another one that came to her as a blessing. I'm going to say that two more times. Isn't it amazing that Melody got to see a man that came to her as a curse and a man that came to her as a blessing? Isn't it amazing that we got to see somebody come to her as a curse and somebody come to her as a blessing? Y'all can believe what y'all want to believe. But I'll just put it like this. If that HBCU collection for 7th Avenue was just level 1, can you imagine what will happen if I get to play the game and all the levels in the game of Melody Cherie? If I could do an HBCU collection, imagine what I could do with Nubian TV. Who has suggested 7th Avenue beauty weekends? Where they could go rent out a hotel for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with a Thursday night all white mimosa party. And you can do beauty demonstrations with 7th Avenue and bring in celebrity guests and have 7th Avenue beauty weekends. See, the reason why I'm able to be that blessing and come to her as a blessing is because I come to myself as a blessing always. I always come to myself as a blessing. You know that conversation with Mr. Brown? Myself said, myself is a blessing to myself. And so when myself is a blessing to myself will be a blessing to other people. Like I said, I gave 2 business ideas for free. Y'all think that's all I got in me? That curse couldn't give nothing to her. And you know why that curse couldn't give nothing to her? Because how can a curse give something to a blessing? Hang on, let me type that in the chat. I'll wait for a response. I will wait for a response. How can a curse give something to a blessing? Where do they do that at? Where do they do that? How can a curse give something to a blessing? And do you know why that HBCU idea, that part, do you know why that HBCU idea worked out so well? It wasn't because I was the person that gave it. It wasn't the fact that the idea was good. It was the quality of the energy that was given. I'm going to say it again. The reason why that HBCU idea was so good, it wasn't because I presented it. It wasn't because it was a good idea, but it was the quality of the blessing that was given to a blessing. Because guess what? If a curse gave that idea out, you know what they would say? That's a good idea, but it should come from you, though. Curses are connected to quantity. Blessings are connected to quality. You know what? My Lord. Y'all don't believe what y'all want to believe. I'm just dropping notes. Quality. Quantity. Now, if you don't believe in that, let me give you some examples. You know how every time Martell tries to do something, you notice there's nothing of quality, right? Blessings are light, curses are heavy. But wait a minute, I know what you're thinking. But Bray, can't blessings be heavy of abundance? Absolutely. But the only way that blessings can be heavy is if the quality is heavy in the energy. Oh, I got y'all tonight. I got y'all. How can a curse give something to a blessing, and blessings are connected to quality and curses are connected to quantity? Coleslaw, she's done so many things in quantity that every time she speaks is another curse coming out of her. Same thing with Martell. Same thing with anybody that tries to come against Melody. Curses are connected to quantity because there's so many of them. But And you know what? This one right here. Y'all ready for this one? Now, let's review our let's review the 3 blessings we've received tonight in terms of lessons. This is the first blessing, okay? How can a curse give something to a blessing? That was our first one. The second one is blessings are connected to quality. Curses are connected to quantity. All ready for this one? Blessings are solid and curses are broken. Oh, my Lord Jesus. Oh, my Lord. Oh, okay. I know some of y'all want, wait a minute. Bray, can you give an example? Sure, I can. And that's Wine versus 7th Avenue Beauty. Which business is solid and which business is broken? When it comes to the children, are the M&M kids solid or is Knox solid? Let me ask you this. Which interview was the biggest one that got the most attention? Was it Carlos and Melody that was solid? Or was it Tasha K and Martell that were solid? Blessings are solid, curses are broken. Oh my Lord! You know what? I'm going to drop it live. I'm gonna drop it live right now. Hang on. I'm about to do something that I've never done on my community wall. Number 1, blessings. Hang on. Number 1. Here are some lessons that I dropped tonight. I hope these are blessings to you. Blessings to you. Number 1, how can a curse give something to a blessing? Number 2, blessings are connected to quality. Curses are connected to quantity. Quantity. Oh my God, I gotta type it in, child. Blessings are solid, curses are broken. All right, Nicki News, you got them. I'm about to show you the community wall right now. So that way you got them. Let me pull up the community wall. And that interview absolutely did. That interview absolutely brought Melody blessings. Absolutely. There it is right there. Hang on, let me see. Woo, Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus. Listen. Now, here's how you really know that you're going to be successful at what you do. If somebody goes on a panel, be like, you know what, y'all? Let me ask y'all something. How can a curse give something to a blessing? Remember where you quoted that from. Remember where you quoted that from. Somebody goes on a panel, they said blessings are connected to quality, curses are connected to quantity. Remember where you quoted that from. Remember where you quoted that from. If you go on a panel and say blessings are solid, curses are broken, remember where you quoted that from. I'm just saying. Child, those three things blessed me. I don't know if it blessed y'all, but those three things blessed me. Listen. Blessed me. Do you hear me? I do see why people say I could be a preacher. I do. It's still not happening though. Okay, we ain't no. Like I said, I want Thick Girl Sunday monthly out of church. That's not going to happen. Y'all, give me one moment. Give me one moment. So y'all, original Straight No Chaser is live right now on Instagram. By the way, shout out to my source on that. I'm not going to share original Straight No Chaser Instagram on my YouTube channel, because guess what? Even though it's YouTube, that don't mean she don't go after every platform. You know what I mean? So I just wanted that to be said. But yeah, I mean, listen, at the beginning, middle, end of the day, like, honestly, I hope those lessons blessed y'all. I really do. Because let me tell you something. I mean, and here's the thing. Sometimes the most simple lessons are the most profound. Because when you think about these three things that I said, wait a minute, how can a curse give something to a blessing? Blessings are connected to quality, curses are connected to quantity. Blessings are solid, curses are broken. They seem so simple, but they're the most profound because of the power of the simplicity. What y'all want me to do? What y'all want me to do? I mean, what do y'all want me to do? Three people in the building: like, comment, share, and subscribe. By the way, y'all let me know how you guys like the interview. Did I do good? Did I let Mary talk? Because here's the thing, right? I often ask for feedback from you guys because I'm still new to YouTube, believe it or not. Okay, I know that sounds crazy with close to 90,000 total views. I'm still new to YouTube. But did y'all like, for those of you who saw it, did you guys like the flow of it? Now listen, I was supposed to do the interview at 9:30, but you know what though? Everything turns out the way it needs to, because guess what? Me doing those hot topics and her coming in to be able to do those hot topics with me, y'all got to know Mary from the beginning of the show. So actually, me doing hot topics actually helped out the interview. I will say this. I like and I'll talk to Mari MonRHO to get professional notes from her, because she's done, a different level of radio. But what I really liked about the interview was, for one, it felt comfortable for you Bugetto people. We love everybody around here, but we don't put up with shit either that we don't have to. Love you very much. But what I liked about it was it felt like two friends just talking, and we actually are friends for real. It felt like two friends talking. I felt like it was very diverse for the fact of we took 360 conversations and what the platform was and was able to create that experience live, because you guys did get a 360 conversation. You guys got cosmetology, you got radio, you got hot topics, you got music, you got mental health involved as well. You got fashion involved. So I really liked the fact that it was a free flowing conversation. Thank you so much, Nicki News. I appreciate that. And honestly, too, like, by the way, I just want to say shout out to Bondi Blue. I think February 1st, she's nominated for a Content Creator Award. So shout out to Bondi Blue. Please go vote. I'm definitely going to vote for her. Bondi Blue said something quite interesting about the Shannon Sharpe, Cat Williams interview, which has 50 million views, by the way. And I say that 50 million views. Now, listen. I know Bondi Blue is a legend, so me saying 50 million views, it's like, okay, boy, what you trying to say? You ain't even made it to 10,000 views on your own video. Even though Bondi Blue is a very loving, kind of gracious person, I don't feel like she would use that New Orleans accent against me, But Bondi Blue also throws down like, listen, if you coming for me, I'm coming for you. But I say that 50,000 view to Bondi Blue of this. Viewership is in the eye of the beholder, right? And something that Bondi Blue said that I agree with and disagree with is this. Bondi Blue said that Shannon Sharpe gave questions or asked questions to lead the guest somewhere. And it wasn't really a interview where it's like, okay, how does this make you feel? Response, next question. And I don't think every interview needs that. With all due respect to Bondi Blue, and I genuinely love that sister. And sadly, her ass is married. Jesus. Okay, I'm sorry, God. Can I just have a thickie? Just one thickie for me. We know that me and Jill Scott, we were supposed to be soulmates in this lifetime, but it just never worked out, But maybe we could get me as Sheila's new man, and why did I get married 3? But besides Jill Scott, can I just get a single thickie wife for me? Please and thank you. I'm just putting that on the wish list. Jesus' name, yes. Amen, man. But anyway, I say that because I think sometimes in life with interviews, we get so bogged down in the details of the interview that we don't worry about the quality of the interview. And I think the reason why the Cat Williams interview with Shannon Sharpe worked out so well was because of the fact Cat just wanted to get it off his chest. And sometimes with you having your curated and created questions, it blocks the flow of the interview. If I had a flow, and not to mention too, I think sometimes with interviewers, the reasons why they have bad interviews is because they don't follow the prompt. Like, for example, with the Onyx collab, right, on Clubhouse. For the longest time, some former fellow collaborators, as Lester would say, they would say, Braylon, you're too bogged down the topic. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like, okay, we got to stay on this topic all night long. And then I looked at the title of my house or club, Onyx collab. For those of you who don't know what Onyx is a black stone that crushes out negativity. But also, too, Onyx means black collab. So I'm like, wait a minute. Lean into the collab. So now what I do with the Onyx collab is the jump off point, but it's not the main point. So I felt like Cat Williams was the jump off point, but wasn't the main point. And I feel like that interview with Cat Williams flowed so well because it wasn't so, okay, Cat Williams is here to talk about all the comedians. Cat Williams is here because Cat Williams is here. And whatever's on his mind is what's on his mind. So recognize as an interviewer that there will be times where the jump off point needs to be the main point. and where the jump off point doesn't need to be the main point. It just needs to be a jump off. So I just wanted to give that psychology and that methodology behind the interview of that this interview, this is the jump off point, but not the main point. So 360 Conversations was the jump off point, but it wasn't the main point, and it worked. Now, if I get an interview on here where the jump off point needs to be the point, then okay, we'll go there. But I think that Cat Williams interview worked because it worked the way it needed to work. Just me. I could be wrong. Could be completely wrong. Although I was right about 3 clues from Love and Marriage, Huntsville, it didn't spoil not one damn thing from the season. So, listen, you know. Oh, my Lord Jesus. Man, oh man. I will have a show for y'all in the morning at 11 a.m. By the way, are y'all enjoying the 11 a.m. shows, by the way? I will say this. I enjoy the 11 a.m. morning shows. I think it's just the fact that I have to get up to do it. Like, don't at me, okay? Don't at me. I love my sleep. But I do feel like the 11 a.m. shows are working. It's allowing people who may not get to the 6 p.m. show to be able to at least spend some time with me in the day. And I feel like the morning audience has a different clientele. And what I mean by that is the clientele for the 11 a.m. show is, okay, my brain is up, but I'm not ready to be that deep. Right? But I still want a show. I still want to go on tour. And I feel like for Virtual Tour Live, the primetime show, see, right there. And you know what's funny? T-Talk with Your Girl said that too. Like, Bray, you know what? You are at home all day long. You can do as many shows as you want to. But like you said, Nicki News, and T-Talk with Your Girl said this. There are people at work that are just trying to find something to listen to. And so I appreciate the 11 a.m. show for being that counterbalance. Because if you have never been to a Virtual Tour Live primetime edition, if you have never been on a tour during that time, and that's your first tour, that tour can get really quick. And there is no instruction manual. You know what I mean? You know how you get a car and there's like the car manual and stuff? There ain't no car manual for Virtual Tour Live Primetime Edition. It's like, okay, higher is Wayne Lowe's available, but either way, we're on tour and we are gone. But I feel like the morning edition of the show is the manual for how to be on tour with me, if that makes sense. So watching the 11 a.m. show, it's almost like a sneak peek. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I kind of like this format. I kind of like how he takes you on to different destinations and breaks down the complexity of the destination, why it's important, why it's not important. And we're on the road together, just seeing what can be. I like this. And not to mention, too, medicine tastes better when it's flavored. So I feel like the 11 a.m. show is the flavored medicine that you need. And then at 6 p.m., it's like, okay, whatever you have, please give it to me. I don't care if it's Tylenol. I don't care if it's NyQuil. I don't care if it's Theraflu. I just need to get over the sickness. And so I feel like the 11 a.m. show is a good balance. You know what I mean? I feel like it's a good balance. You know what I mean? So. Let me thank everybody who came through tonight. Nicki News, thank you. Phyllis Crawford, Thank you. Dana Tucker, thank you so much as well. Only Zone Alarm, thank you for coming through. Miss Cheryl H. Tough, thank you. And Sheila Williams, thank you as well. Thank you so much. Man, I really do love doing this show. I really do. And let me tell you something. There are times where I'm like, and most of the time when I do that, it's not because of y'all. It's because of like, damn, this is what I found. You know what I mean? And honestly, to tell you the truth, I don't know what I'm going to cover until I find it. I really mean that. Like, this is probably the most unpredictable. And I say unpredictable in this sense. By the time I come on at 11 a.m. or 6 p.m., depending on when you see me, you know I'm going to say something. You just don't necessarily know what I'm going to say. So it is the most unpredictable for that part of the experience, but the most predictable show because I'm always going to come with something real. And, you know, we always say our legendary saying over here is higher is waiting, low is available. But either way, we're live on tour or we're going on tour because it's true. And we cover everything. We cover the mess of the impossible to the rise of the possible. And I think that's what we need more of in the world. So, well, let me get the Daily Motivator up for y'all. I hope y'all really enjoyed the show. This was a good show. I really enjoyed it. I wanted to give y'all these two stories real quick, okay? I want to give y'all these two stories because, you know, we talked about HBCUs tonight. So the story of the first white member of Delta Sigma Theta was a segregationist's worst nightmare. Did you know that the first white member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated was a freedom rider who was hunted by the Triple K for working to desegregate the South? Was named Joanne Tuampar Mulholland. Mulholland was born in 1941 and was raised in Arlington, Virginia. Her great-grandparents were slave owners in Georgia who, after the Civil War, the United States Civil War, became sharecroppers, and she grew up in a household that supported segregation. Joan attended Duke for undergrad in the spring of 1960, participating in her first Masons. The idea of protecting the white women from blacks was something that Southern racism segregation was supposed to be fighting So the idea of a white woman from the South defending the rights of blacks confused many people. Joanne Jones' activism was not understood by many, and she was branded mentally ill and was taken in for a mental evaluation after her arrest. Mullen was disowned by her family for protesting and dropped out of school at Duke after being pressured by the dean of women to stop her civil rights activism. In 1961, Mulholland, along with Stokely Carmichael, the activist and later SNCC chairman, Hank Thomas, and others were arrested as freedom fighters and brought to the most dreadful prison in Mississippi, Parchman Penitentiary, a jail in the Delta, which is not too far from where Emmett Till had been offed. Many of the freedom riders remained behind bars for about a month, but Mulholland had no plans and no place to go until school opened in the fall. She served her 2 months sentence and additional time to work off the $200 fine she owed. After being released from jail, Charlene Hunter Gauld and Hamilton E. Holmes became the first African-American students to enroll at the University of Georgia. Mullen thought, now, if whites were going to ride when black students were going to white schools, what were they going to do if a white student went to a black school? She decided to be the first white student to enroll in Tongolulu College in Jackson, where she met Medgar Evers, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Reverend Ed King, and Ann Moody. 2 years later, she became the first white member to pledge to Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. And that is Joanne Mullen right there. On May 28th, 1963, MonRHO participated in the sit-in at the Woolif lunch counter in downtown Jackson with 13 other activists, including Ann Moody, Professor Dr. John Salter, and White Tuckaloo Captain Reverend Ed King. This group was beaten, burned with cigarettes, smothered with food, and bashed against the counter. And this is now known as one of the most violent sit-ins in the civil rights movement. After the civil rights movement, she worked for the Smithsonian, the United States Department of Commerce, and the Justice Department before teaching English as a second language. Today, MonRHO is retired and living in Virginia. She has 5 sons and started a foundation as the Joanne Trump for MonRHO Foundation that educates youth about the civil rights movement and teaches them how to become activists in their own communities. Joanne is a true woman at Delta Sigma Theta. Check out this video of the award-winning documentary that was made on her entitled Ordinary Hero. Click here how to find out to watch the full documentary, so we'll play it now.
She is, in my mind, one of those sheroes that demands respect and acknowledgement. Clearly, she was a lady ahead of her time.
She walked through that mob in the War Star. And they realized, of course, immediately where she stood.
She joins Perlita and Annie at the counter, the first white to join the demonstration. And at this, the crowd is just incensed. They become like hornets. They start screaming at her.
She wasn't the outside agitator. She was a white Southerner. She was a white Southern woman. And so for that purpose, she was even more dangerous to the white supremacist power structure. Here's this white Southern woman who's supposed to be protected by the system saying, I don't need this protection and I don't believe in the system. And so that made her incredibly dangerous.
And that cell was 50 feet from the death chamber. That's where we were. As far as the state of Mississippi was concerned, we had committed capital crimes.
We had no doubt we were going to die. Mississippi was known as the deepest of the deep South, the heart of darkness. Somebody was going to die that summer, and it looked like it was us.
Wow. Absolutely incredible. So here's some pictures of Joan here. And my mom, said something to me a long time ago. She said, Bray, you don't know all your history. And that there were white people who did good things. So, I look at it like this. For every ignorant white person, there was a white person of intelligence coming through and being a legend. So shout out to this sister right here. I'm calling her SISTA, sister, Joanne Mullen. Shout out to this sister here being the first white member of Delta Sigma Theta. And with that being said, here, now this goes to show you, a full circle moment here, okay? So remember, she is the first white woman. Joanne was the first white woman to pledge Delta Sigma Theta. Check this out. This comes to us from HBCU Connect. Blonde Instagram model goes viral for graduating from an HBCU pledging Delta Sigma Theta. A blonde woman is going viral this morning for graduating from a historical black college while pledging to a black sorority, Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated. The woman, an IG model who goes by the name Vanessa, is going viral after millions start sharing her photo online. Vanessa recently graduated from Langston University. She also pledged Delta Sigma Theta, a black sorority. That's not all. Here are her list of accomplishments while in school. Summa cum laude, class of 2020, vice president, woman of purpose president, business club vice president, NAACP community service chair, accounting club treasurer, Alpha Phi Alpha Chi Honor Society, Dean MonRHO, President MonRHO, and spring 2020 initiate of Delta Sigma Theta. And this is her Instagram account. So, when this story first came up, right? And I do follow her. When this story first came up, right? I thought, wait a minute, why is this happening? But then I thought, you know what? As Mari MonRHO said, there are so many people that come to historical Black college to actually learn the culture, not just to hear about it. And so, you look at the comments here of all the congratulations. And what this goes to show me is that even though society fucked up in the beginning, that does not mean that society is not being corrected. So let me hang on.
Y'all, it's Vanessa. I'm here representing Langston University, Oklahoma's only HBCU. Join me Friday, February 2nd here at the Paycom Center, 7 p.m. or 5:30 p.m. if you want to get here early for DJ Kilo. We got him spinning before and after the game. We've got the Langston University Marching Band performing as well, and a whole lot in store just to support our only HBCU here in Oklahoma. My D9, my sorors, my HBCU alum, and my HBCU supporters. I want to see y'all all here. I want to see y'all repping y'all school and y'all sorority or fraternity.
So when people say that we can't get along, the fact that there was the first white woman to pledge Delta Sigma Theta, and this white woman right here, Vanessa, pledged at a sorority, goes to show that, you know what? The reason why we never elevate higher is because we limit ourselves in who we can become, how we can become that, and where we can step through and be and give our energy. So with that being said, quite a powerful virtual tour live tonight. Let me read y'all the Daily Motivator and then we'll get on out of here. And actually, you know what? Honestly, if I could interview Vanessa, I really would. I think that would be such a powerful interview. There's a couple of other people I want to interview, but the thing about interviews, you got to call them and text them and get all that. But I really would love to interview Vanessa because I think there is more in common to us than apart. So with that being said, it's time for the Daily Motivator. Experience is simply the name we give our mistakes. Oh, I like that. Experience is simply the name we give our mistakes. I like that. It's time for the Daily Motivator for Sunday, January 28th. Now, the Daily Motivator runs Monday through Saturday, but we're just going to use this for Sunday. Unique richness. The richness of a single authentic experience can echo throughout your entire lifetime. And every day offers new opportunities for even more. What makes a good time is being present, involved, intense, infatuated. Live stories in truth, and they become treasures that last throughout the years. Do something each day more than just pretend. Put yourself on the line. Feel what is real. From time as it passes, create value that endures and sustains. From the reality of every moment, gain truth, connection, and inspiration to go forward. Sing the song of genuine delight, involvement, purpose. Transform honest intention into fulfilling experience. Today offers its unique richness. Embrace it fully and add even more of your own. Ralph Morrison. You know what? I'm going to drop both stories actually. Of Watch the Yard. And also too, I'm going to drop the story of the this young lady who did what she did. Because I think it's important. I think it's absolutely important to showcase that, we are more than what we say, right? So I'm going to drop these things here. HBCUIG. All right, let me get this last one up here. So when it comes to unique richness, I think you reach unique richness. The mindset of richness is only limited or unlimited based on what we think. Because who would have ever thought that there would be, first of all, a young woman by the name of Vanessa to pledge Delta Sigma Theta, but then also have the first white member of Delta Sigma Theta. Talk about unique richness, right? Talk about unique richness. Sometimes unique richness comes from being the first to do something. And, you know, there's a quote from Mary that says, I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me the road would be easy, but I don't think God brought me this far to leave me. So the first lesson is recognize that in the unique richness of life, sometimes the richness is first. Second thing about unique richness is knowing that every day holds the possibility of something. And you can't spell unique without the letter U. And you can't spell you without the letter U. So it all comes back to you, right? So recognizing that unique richness comes from being first. Recognize that unique richness comes from you. But the third thing is recognize that everybody's not going to accept your unique richness. But that doesn't mean that the people who But that doesn't mean I'll put it like this. For all the haters that don't want to accept your unique richness, they will be in their unique brokenness. Okay? So, with that being said, what a powerful virtual tour live. Thank you to Mari MonRHO from 360 Conversations. Great job. Talk to you soon, Queen. Thank you to all the virtual tribes and virtual tour family who liked this video up for me. I hope you guys enjoy it on the replay. And just thank y'all. It really does mean the world to me. I really mean that. So yeah, with that being said, it's time for the best outro on YouTube. Know what you do and do what you know. Never say you weren't born special, because you were always born a blessing. And trust, you may not be where you want to be, but by the end of it, you'll be where you need to be. Do what you've been chosen to do. Why is one thing to call yourself? It's another thing to be chosen. One love, much love, all love. I spend time with you. You guys spend time with me. Hopefully, by spending time together, we're to be great together. And always remember, we're doing radio, television, YouTube, living your best life, or you're just having 360 conversations and finding out that, guess what? The people that we think we know, we don't actually know the full story of a person until we really go past the cover and get to the chapters. Make sure the replay is not just where for you watch it, not just where for you listen to it, but for you want to experience it again. I love you. I value. I embrace you all. See you real soon. Always remember, you want to receive love, you gotta give it. You want to receive love, you gotta give it. You want to receive love, you gotta give it. Wherever obstacles you have overcome, wherever successes you have achieved on this particular day, I'm extremely proud of you, but no one else is proud of you. Be proud of your damn self. And finally, y'all, always remember, have structure, but leave room for spontaneity. Why do I say that? Because guess what? Structure keeps you grounded, right? Structure keeps you grounded and it gives you a foundation. But what makes all those rooms in your mansion of your life beautiful is the spontaneity of what you bring to your house. Remember, have structure. That's the foundation. But what makes the mansion is all those rooms of spontaneity. I love you. I value. I embrace you. I'll see you real soon. Good night, everybody. Enjoy the fireworks for the day that was, for the day that's to come, and for the blessings that are on the way for you, me, and for all of us as a culture. Good night, Dana Tucker. Much love, everybody. I feel the love. I'll send it right back to you. Enjoy the fireworks. Night, everybody.